Coming up, we're talking Bigfire. Big news, Bigfire. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Universal edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 214 of the Diz Unplugged Universal edition. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect universal vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is also brought to you by DizBoards.com. If you're looking for even more information to help you plan your Universal Orlando vacation, head over to DizBoards.com and join the discussion today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. I am your host, Craig Williams. Today, I am joined alongside by my co-host. You know him. You love him. Ryan, the Ryno Clappin.
Hello.
Yeah, that's sticking. You were hoping it wasn't, but it is.
I mean, it's all right. I guess that's what I really should have been called all along. But.
It's your call. I will not only call you Ryno as your introduction. So you either get the full title or you get just Ryan.
Till I legally change my name to only Ryno.
Nope, still won't do it then. I will come up with a last name for you that's fun and awkward and kind of encapsulates you.
Big Shoes.
There we go. Ryno Big Shoes.
It's Italian.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, fair enough. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode. It's a great week. It's a great week to be here. I know that. We were getting ready to record a really helpful episode for first-timers coming to Universal Orlando. What are you laughing about?
Should have said Kylebasa.
Kyle.
Should have brought it all the way back to the first season.
Yes, Kyle.
Kylebasa strikes again.
If you guys don't know who Kylebasa is, then you need to do a deep dive into the archives. Yeah. Someone will be able to help you out with that. At 214 episodes, I can no longer help you out with where Kylebasa takes place in the Universal Orlando cinematic universe.
The Burt Macklin of the Diz Unplugged.
Exactly. Kylebasa. God, I wish I could even remember how that all played out. I'm sure you do. But.
We were just talking about food one day, and I was like, "Oh, I love Kylebasa," and I think somebody else said that could be your alter ego's name, and we're like, Kylebasa.
Kylebasa. Yeah, it was something like that. Someone will tell us, and if you're watching it in the comments down below, if you're a listener, just tweet at us or whatever. But yeah, no, we were going to do a very helpful episode for first-timers based on some threads that I saw over on Disboards.com, and that's going to be what we're going to do next week now, because much to our surprise today, the day that we are recording this on Tuesday, we got some news that we finally know what is replacing emeralds at Universal CityWalk. And Ryno, what is it?
It's called Bigfire Restaurant.
Bigfire.
Yeah. I'm reading this theming is very interesting for being plopped in the center of CityWalk.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of interesting things about it. The first part is that Bigfire will be opening this summer at Universal CityWalk, and according to Universal Orlando, it will be giant open fire cooking. I mean, I'm adding the giant in, but we'll get into it further as we go along, but it sounds like a big thing. So they also promised that it will be a highly themed restaurant. I'm not understanding what the theme of Bigfire is, so we will dive deeper in, and hopefully we'll be able to pull it out there and get there in the next subject that we talk about it with the theme. But we'll do that. So yeah, though, Bigfire
toast.
It will leave you feeling as though you've stepped into a grand lakeside lodge in the middle of CityWalk.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. Like. All this technological neon wonder surrounds you in the middle of the woods, like this lodge.
In the Lakeside Lodge, right next to the big Universal Studios store and just down the road from your Mexican adobo at Antojitos. I don't know what that is. I think adobo is...
it's a seasoning, I believe, yeah.
So, I screwed that one up. Add that one to the things I have to correct by the end of the episode. We're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry. Okay, so let's go over the theme as they're putting it. According to Universal, flannel. Actually,
Nicholas Flanell.
Nicholas Flanell. It's going to be a Harry Potter Grand Lakeside Lodge themed restaurant. I'm looking forward to it. The 2-story full-service venue will welcome you with warm, modern surroundings, from a cozy fireplace to oversized plaid blankets and cast iron design elements, complete with an outdoor patio. You'll be able to relax by a fire pit or play lawn games with family and friends. And we can't think of a better way to unwind after a fun-filled day in the parks. Shall we break this down right now? 2 stories, awesome.
Yeah.
More room for partying. That's what I say. Full service. Expect it to be. If you're going to get rid of a full-service restaurant, you better replace it with a full-service restaurant.
Do they hand you the plaid blankets when you walk in the door? Or are they nailed up on the walls? Or are you eating on a blanket as a tablecloth? I am confused. It's 110 degrees here 90% of the year.
Will the fireplace be real? Because
again, it's 110 degrees here.
Yeah, it's a little warm for a fireplace. I'm not saying that it's not always lovely. There are some nights during the holiday season, towards the end of HHN, where it starts getting chilly and you're like, ooh, I hope they turn on the heaters at this place. But
guys, I know the perfect place. They have oversized plaid blankets for all of us. We can both wrap ourselves in them, dine upon them, and sit upon them.
I'm assuming that the plaid blankets will be on the wall, though, just because it also says the cast iron design elements. I feel like those designs are going to be placed throughout.
I imagine this pitch meeting, and somebody was like, they were unprepared, they were hungover, and they were just like looking around this room, and they saw like a skillet and a blanket, and they were like, "What's the theme?" And they're like, "I'll show you the theme. I'll do you one better. I'll show you the theme." And they whipped out the blanket. And they're like, "This isn't going where you think." And they put it on the wall.
It's either that or they were having a nervous breakdown. And one day they brought their oversized weighted plaid blanket to work. And like, yeah.
Jim's got it. He's onto something wrapped up in that blanket over there.
Plaid blanket. We'll call it the plaid blanket. That'll be the name of it. But joking aside, I love the idea of this design. I've talked about Walt Disney World many a times, and I've adamantly expressed that Wilderness Lodge is like a home away from home to me, because I do enjoy the wilderness style element, and with a grand lakeside lodge here, I think.
Read the rest of this description, though.
Okay. I did read the rest of the description.
Wait, we talked about being able to lay on the lawn to play games? Where's the lawn?
I did read that. The outdoor patio, I believe that's where the lawn's going to be, on the outdoor patio. I'm assuming it's going to be a situation maybe similar to how Cowfish is handled, where they do have the patio on the back that has game set up.
With all the AstroTurf one can dream of.
It has game for you. So while this says lawn games right now, I mean, I guess eventually they could alter it to say lawn game with family and friend. But we'll have to see how it goes on that. But yeah, there's a whole lot to dissect. I feel like one piece of concept art for the building just was not enough.
No, it doesn't give a very good, like, three-dimensional... I mean, the building itself in the concept art does look cool. It's got this glitter tree right in front of it, so they're going to plant a tree right here somewhere that isn't there right now.
I want to say that's actual lights. That's not a glitter tree.
Wait, hold up.
I think those are twinkly lights.
Oh, great. Well, the magic's gone. Well, they'll have a tree then with lights on it. A tree. Also, another thing, the sole tree of CityWalk, essentially, other than the leaning palm right next door. But I like the sound of the place. It just feels like it is in the weirdest place possible.
Oh, no, it is for sure in a very bizarre place. But that doesn't mean it can't be beautiful in there. I mean, when they did build Antojitos, it was a big, giant eyesore kind of where it was. But it now, like, I couldn't imagine the CityWalk skyline in a way without it. So I'm not going to jump to
Let's talk about the menu, though.
Oh, we'll get there. So I just want to make sure we got everything. So greeted with twinkling lights, comfortable seating, and lawn games for the entire family to enjoy. Because I've got to go back and forth between the press release that they sent out, as well as the blog post on it too. So it want to make sure to get everything. The atmosphere reminiscent of summers spent by the water
in like Maine, I'm assuming, or like Pacific Northwest or something. Pacific Northwest, New England, Northeast. I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but
yeah. I like you're trying though. You're putting in the effort, and
it
that's
makes
what
me
matters
think
to
of Maine. It makes me think of Maine.
Okay, let's continue on. So at the heart of the venue will be a custom wood fire grill that will allow guests to see their meal being prepared from anywhere in the restaurant. So big fire. Big fire.
A big fire.
Big fire
Makes
in the
your
middle.
Big fire thing. I feel like we're going to all walk in and it's very limited dialogue you're allowed to say the whole time. Big fire, big burger, big happy. Like, big dessert.
They will have big portions.
Like
I'm
cave
sure.
people.
It's a big fire. That's what it's going to be in the heart of the restaurant, the big fire. For the first time at Universal Orlando, each dish will be expertly paired with the perfect type of wood to bring the smoky goodness of each bite. I feel terrible. I'm super excited for this restaurant, but it just sounds like we're making fun of it for this entire time.
Sounds presented in such a weird way where they're like, what type of wood would you like that cooked on? Cedar?
Well, can I help you with that here?
Yeah.
From cherry wood to pecan wood.
Oh, I forgot about cherry wood.
From cherry wood to pecan wood and more pecan wood, depending on where you're from. Pecan wood. The pairings will
pecan wood pie. I can't wait for that dessert.
The pairings will add bold flavors to American classic dishes and unique entrees, including a signature bison burger, coffee, chili, and cocoa rub top sirloin, delectable freshwater trout, mouth-watering smoked salads, and more. So we are definitely going to get that northwestern food style in here with the bison burger and the chili and cocoa rub steak as well as the trout. So
you know, my favorite photo is this. If you go to the blog post, it is the onion that if you've ever been to a hibachi restaurant, like what's the hana? Sukihana? Is that what it's called? Benihana. Sukihana is a sushi restaurant here. It's the choo-choo onion train. They always put the onion and then they take the pieces out and they make it up and they squirt the stuff in the middle and they let it in front and go, train, choo-choo. And it's apparently served on a dish now.
Yeah. Can I ruin this for you, Ryno, for a second?
Oh, no, it's not the onion?
I'm pretty sure it's the baked Alaska.
I thought it was a giant onion. So I'm looking at this like, what a stupid photo. It looks like an onion, though. Tell me it doesn't.
I see what you're doing.
Okay, upon closer inspection, it's clearly marshmallow, and I'm a moron.
You're fine there. It's cocoa by the fire.
I've never had baked Alaska.
You never even had the one at Boathouse, the big giant one?
They don't have it anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Whatever.
Think. I don't want to say lies, but
I used to get baked Alaska at Steakhouse 55. I like baked Alaska, so I'm sure I will enjoy this one too. Yeah, that was not. I could have really stopped you a lot sooner with that, but
I wish I had spoken about it earlier.
I really wanted to see that play out, and I feel like it was worth it. So remember that big grill? Well, we do know that we'll be able to see our meal being made right before our eyes. I feel like they went with the same concept for this as they did with the NBC Sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But,
open kitchen.
But even then, that was a part that they said. And then it's like, well, you'll be able to see your food being made. And it's like, no, I can't. I watch a whole bunch of other people's food getting made.
Yeah.
A lot of corn and stuff, but never mind. But yeah, so this
is NBC Sports camping. That's what I see it as.
With the Pacific Northwest, though. I mean, I said that really bad there. I just can't speak today.
The food looks good.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what I was trying to get back to. Like the bison burger, if that's the one that we're seeing here, it looks good. It looks like it's topped with like caramelized onions and a nice big cheesy cheese there. And then you noticed avocado toast with smoked salmon, some radishes on there. Looks to be sprouts on there as well too.
And don't be fooled. That avocado toast is also smoked itself. That's why they're lifting the dish up.
A double smoked avocado toast?
Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. Unless
the
that's how
front
they
door.
smoke the salmon, but I'm pretty sure that's a double smoke.
I'm pretty sure that's we can go into that later, but there looks to be a fun charcuterie board with lots of charcuteries on there. So I'm going to try to. I didn't see if the Universal say it's called the Outdoorsman Family Celebration, the Bigfire Outdoorsman Family Celebration.
This
Do you
seems
feel-
aggressively heterosexual.
Do you feel like it's a big celebration there?
For an outdoorsman? This seems like somewhere, if I were to bring Ron Swanson to Universal Studios Orlando, this is where I would bring him.
Please, I would like the outdoor celebration. That's it.
All the meats.
Yeah. Okay, here's where it works out.
This looks like there's beef jerky in this. Something. I don't know if that's smoked bacon. I'm
Yeah,
assuming it's smoked. I'm assuming everything you get is going to be smoked.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even the photo that I pulled up here still only says Outdoorsman Family Celebration, so it can't go into all the things on there. But we
looks real good though.
Yeah. Oh no. I agree with that. So we already mentioned the Bigfire smoking salmon. I love that they gave it that name.
What's this one with the? Is that cheese or is that an egg? Mozzarella. It's a salad.
That is the Wisconsin cheesemaker. Let me get the Wisconsin cheesemaker. So yeah, it looks like a big piece of grilled mozzarella on a salad. Looks tasty to me in that way. We also have the Farmer's Roasted Vegetable Gathering. Nice big hunk of cauliflower and cauliflower,
It just looks
maybe
like a lot
some,
of cauliflower and like
some tomatoes on the vine, a pepper.
like, son, go to the backyard and grab as much as you can in 2 seconds.
Get me the cauliflower.
I love cauliflower.
Need that. I love it too. So we mentioned that trout. I believe they're going to call it the Fly Fisherman Success, which is an apt name. The fly fisherman, he caught it. Great
for you.
success.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Interesting. Trout is an interesting choice.
Oh no, I mean trout is it's a staple, definitely of that type of
I thought they would've went
outdoorsman.
salmon.
No. The salmon.
They got it on the toast already, I guess.
Salmon, you don't need the salmon. Trout. That's a real man's fish. That's what you want to get that big trout. You want to get that big bass. You want to get
I do.
that big trout. So I'm fully on board with the trout. A nice rainbow trout, bones and all in there. Just eat it right off the bones.
No. I can't
That's
do
good.
that.
Oh, Daddy, ready for that cowboy ribeye they're doing there. 16 ounces
that
of
potato.
cowboy, a big potato, not twice baked, but it could be served with side dishes on there too. They're calling it a premium steak. I would agree with that. Oh God, that looks fantastic. And if that's they said that's the ribeye on the one picture that we're seeing of the steak. So I feel like that hopefully is the chili and cocoa rubbed steak. So if it's a chili cocoa rubbed cowboy ribeye, I'm going to be eating here every single night.
Oh, wait a minute. A chili rubbed?
Chili and cocoa.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm all on board with this food. 150%. As much as we just laughed about it all, I am on board.
Oh no,
with
the
it.
food looks good.
Yeah, and it's if we need double confirmation, it's definitely the baked Alaska is your big
I was hoping they would call it the choo choo onion.
the choo choo onion served at Bigfire.
Choose you.
So that's kind of all the information that we have right now on Bigfire. Don't have that opening date. We just know it's going to be opening this summer at Universal CityWalk, and we'll step out onto that grand Lakeside lodge with the cozy fireplace. Ryno will wrap a big oversized plaid blanket on you, hit you with a cast iron pan, and then you'll go play long games. Or long game.
I'll grow out my beard for the occasion.
Good. I would hate for you to not have a beard.
A great big bushy beard.
Okay, now we're really bouncing around. So that is Bigfire. Look forward to that coming. All joking aside again on that, cannot wait for Bigfire. So that's going to do it for our news portion of this, and we are going to move on to our questions that we got from there. Before we talk about that, I got to talk about two things that we got wrong in the last episode. The first one is to call Ryno out on this. Ethan Envy on YouTube wants to make sure that Ryno knows that the bus from Stranger Things and the artwork is in fact from season 2. And apparently you said it was in season 1.
It is in season 1.
But in the one that
in the
they're saying
junkyard,
from
remember?
the one that they're saying is this is a season 2 related in their opinion. So
You know what? No, he's
Are you
saying it.
blending stuff together? I've only watched through.
No, in the junkyard is where she knocks over the kid who wears the bandana all the time, who has the sister. I can't remember his name. She knocks him over and knocks him out.
I've only watched Stranger Things, but I remember I've only watched season 2 twice, but I do remember the bus in the second one. It's where they all
to hide from the dogs, right?
When Steve Holt is protecting them.
Steve Holt.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with. But I need to point it out. Ethan wanted you to know.
No, he's right. I'm not disagreeing with him. I thought that bus was also in the first season though. But you know what? The thing is that there's a pretty significant scene in the movie Super 8 with a bus and the kids, and I've always felt like Stranger Things was the TV show version of Super 8, so I could be blending that together as well.
Well, we got it wrong regardless, and we have to pay reprimands for it. And on another wrong thing that we're doing with it, Plunk wanted to know that Plunk is sad that our episodes are getting shorter. I feel like they're not getting shorter as much as they're getting tighter, in that we're not overstretching anything just for the sake of time.
Yeah, like sometimes I'm like, an hour is a long time to listen to something. Here's where I'm at in my life. I'm looking for the 30-minute television experience. Yeah. I kind of want the same in my audio.
I've been preaching that for you for years. Yeah. That why I can't sit down and watch an hour-long drama. I need those short shows.
Well, yeah, and they can be just as good. It's just different quality too. It's just different stuff.
Yep.
So
again, I feel like we still get a generous amount of stupidity.
We're
in the
Brooklyn
beginning.
Nine-Nine of this network.
Yeah. There, got in singing.
I have a corgi. I could be Captain Holt, and I'm gay. Don't tell my mom.
What? Well, that's going to be awkward. So
I have too many emotions.
I can't do the show with you anymore. I'm just finding this out now.
I thought you would have guessed by the rainbow resume I handed in that smelled like candy. That's just signature me. Yeah. That has nothing to do with my sexual preference.
I thought you were just someone who dreamed of really like being a Willy Wonka one day or something, but
luring children to my factory with candy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that we need a cutaway for the child catcher?
Children.
Children, where are you? I know you're here somewhere.
It's fun if you search in your phone for in the iPhone and you type in child catcher, it comes up. A couple of them come up. I used them the other day.
Don't worry. We did cut to that clip there, even though it didn't seem like we did. We cut to it. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done that. So I want to start bringing back everything. So we got in Kylebasa today. We got in the child catcher.
There was another one I thought of after Kylebasa. Oh, jalapeno.
Yeah,
because I was going through like old files on my computer, and I have it saved the graphic that somebody made for us of Al
Pacino.
Al Pacino. Now I couldn't remember his name, holding the challah bread. Al Pacino.
That was a good one. So yeah, we get beats.
Bees?
There we go. Got that one in. So now we just need some actual singing in there. Maybe we'll get to it. But now we're moving on to the questions with this. First one, I'm just going to answer real quick here. It comes from Brent. Brent says, is talking about Canadian deals specifically. Brent, it comes from the land of Canada. And Brent said that with the exchange rate sometimes being really absurd, that it can make it hard to book a resort at Universal because of money and costs. And he was asking if there is any ever sort of deal that's in Canadian dollars to make it more valuable. I would love to hear from our listeners on that, because I'm not 100% accurate on an answer, so I don't want to give you misinformation. All I can say is from the research I've ever done on it, on the Universal website, is that they do have a page for Canadian deals.
I found it.
That's Al Pacino.
Not the deal. I'm sorry.
Al Pacino from Scarface holding a big piece of challah bread. Paula Pacino. Say hello to my little bread.
This is from you out there,
Yeah.
from our listeners.
Yes,
you did this.
remind us who you are that did that, because I'm pretty sure that I probably deleted the email at one point in time too.
I can find it.
You'll find it. So Brent, going back to that, vacation packages for Canadian residents, they are there on a big flashy page, and it looks like they're good deals. But then, of course, everything says, well, in U.S. dollars. And then if you go to the United States vacation packages page, it's the exact same deals at the exact same prices, all in American dollars too. So it looks like Canadians just constantly get screwed by the exchange rate, which is unfortunate and sucks, but that is the life. But if anyone has any extra information on that you could help us out with and help out Brent on, that would be really helpful in the long run for all of us. So moving on to the next question on that, it comes from Kat and Luke Austin, and they said, we have been visiting UO and WDW from the UK for over 20 years and have done a few WDW special tours, Keys to the Kingdom, etc. We've never done a Universal tour and wondered if you guys know if there were tours that ran at Universal Orlando, and if so, which ones were your personal favorites. We are your age, and your advice has never steered us wrong to do so. Has never steered us wrong to date, so we trust your opinion on this. No pressure. If you've never done a UO tour, then maybe a tour episode in the horizon, ? Also, P.S. Love the show. You are both great. My husband met Craig at UO once at HHN and really wanted to offer to buy you a beer, but didn't want to look like a creepy British bloke.
Oh, you can always offer to buy us a drink.
Yeah, most of the time I will turn you down.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, you can, if it's the conversation that's how the conversation gets rolling.
Yeah, no, it always starts with that. Sometimes it ends up that
I usually end up buying them a drink.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of times it'll be like, okay, well, then we'll hang out for a house or two, and then it'll turn into like, oh, well, I'll just get you on this round, and then they get the next round, and it always just becomes a fun thing like that. So
I've made a friend, Alex, who is a listener of the show, who lives in Miami, and every time he comes in town, I'm like, oh, here comes the hangover. Because that's how we know each other now. We just keep buying each other drinks all the time.
That is fun.
We are terrible influencers on each other.
So in terms of behind the scenes tours, I don't have a great answer for you on that in terms of a happy answer. So a great behind the scenes tour during Halloween Horror Nights in particular, of course, I'm sure you know about the Unmasking the Horror tours, where you get to go on the lights on tours of the houses, either 3 or 6, depending on which one you decide to do on that. But otherwise, you're getting your standard Universal VIP tours, and that's your tour option, not all the specialty detailed tours that Disney has. I will say that with a VIP tour, I do have friends that are VIP tour guides, and I can say that when they become a VIP tour guide, just like at Disney, they have to know everything about the different attractions there, as well as the themes of all the lands and some fun stories and insights. So while it's not a heavy, in-depth lesson about all of the story of Universal, it can be. If that's what you're interested in, then definitely press your guide for information. Ask them what the story is in the place that you're in. Ask them for the fun facts. They'll be able to give them to you. They might not just register it, though, if they think you just are in that group that wants to go on a whole bunch of thrill rides, and that's all you want to do. So if they think that's your main goal, they're going to make sure you get around to where you want to as quick as possible. But if you care about those extra things, then always take the time and ask them that. And then beyond that, you can also, in any of the attractions we've ever talked about before, where there's little not secret tours, but not unadvertised tours, you can always ask for those, and they're not the same as Keys to the Kingdom, but it's a free short experience that can get you a little bit behind the scenes, like the one at Men in Black going.
I like that one.
Yeah,
it's a fun photo opportunity.
I've been yelled at many times from people saying that every time we talk about the Men in Black asking for an immigration room tour, they get then flooded with requests for it over and over and over again, and they get tired with it. But you know what? Keep doing it. Keep asking for those tours. Go
Keep
down.
on keeping.
Got to get the photos down on the main floor, sign the book, all that good stuff. So sorry I couldn't be more helpful in that, but I would love to see more in-depth tours on Universal one day. Maybe once the next park comes around, they'll have enough to justify it.
It would be cool if they did like a Harry Potter themed tour or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that was one thing I always liked doing when I was a QP patrolling the queue. If there was ever anyone who was interested in learning more about the castle, I would love taking them through and pointing out all the little details that they don't notice, like I've talked about before with in the Defense Against the Dark Arts rooms, being able to spot all the different props that represent the different people in that. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. He's fixated right now. The reason he's not talking is because he's been on Netflix trying to watch through Stranger Things.
I am 3 episodes in. No, I'm just the kid's name was Lucas. And the bus is in season 1, episode 5.
It is, but I believe if I do remember from season 2,
I know what he's talking about. We're gonna go through the bus. It's gonna come out at us.
Yeah, bigger plot point in that. So we gotta pump the brakes on that. But yeah, no, I always loved giving tours of the castle and explaining where all the details were. Explaining like, oh well, if you watch the one portrait or the one stained glass window in there, to an average person walking by, you might be like, oh, that's just a detail that they put in, and you forget that in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, that's the stained glass window that Neville's sitting beside, that's raining outside and it looks like it's crying, and little stuff like that.
Well, I feel like because you get to that particular part of the queue when you're up there, that you kind of rush through it almost. It's like because people have stopped, so then the line starts moving, and you're like, this is the stuff I wanted to see. So it's like, do the ride and then come back through and really take your time, because it's just like there'll be stuff in there where then you go and the next time you watch the movie, you'll be like, oh, I remember seeing that.
No, you have to go late at night. Now that everything's happened with the express queue kind of screwing over castle tours and stuff. You really have to take your time when you're going through, and the best way to do that, do it last thing at night, and you'll really be able to take your time, go through the castle and see all those details. But it doesn't ever hurt to ask a team member around, like, oh, I'm a really big Potter fan, at some point can I come back and someone can teach me more about it? They might say yes. I would have. If not, you see me in the park, I'll take it. If you see me having 3 beers in my hand, not all at once. You're only allowed to have 1 drink per ID. But if I put down 3 beers, then be like, Craig, take me through the queue and talk about it. And I'll be like, sure, why not? I would say, I wish I could say that hasn't happened before, but it has. Okay, second to last question. This one comes from Natalie. Great show, guys. I just have one question about Universal. I am considering of becoming a Universal 2-park pass holder. I am considering the highest level for the 2-park year-round pass. I like all the benefits of the specific pass except the benefit of getting 1 free ticket to HHN. Is there anything I can do about getting the HHN ticket? I would not like for that ticket to go to waste. Honestly,
you can't really do anything about it. It's like in your the hard ticket. You go and you like scan it on one of those days and it works.
Yeah,
you can't give it to somebody else.
And the thing about the ticket is, if you feel like the reason you need the pass is because of something like free valet, chances are you want that valet so much that you're going to offset it enough to be like, oh, well, I can justify the price because of it.
Yeah, I forget what it even is to valet at this point. I want to say it's like $40 almost or something. And so, like, you do it a couple times and you're already like, your pass will pay for itself, honestly. I mean, if that's your thing, Yeah,
I get a frequent fear pass, and I would say every other year frequent fear pass for HHN, that is, I would say every other year I forget to use my free ticket with the pass because...
Yeah, I didn't last year.
Yeah, I didn't last year either. I think I did the year before, but then I forgot the other year before that. And
this last year, I think they like had a thing where they extended it for like... I forget what it was. There was some like weird thing, like the one of the days you could use it, we were there for the media event or something like that.
Yeah, that has happened before with that too. So it really is. If you feel like you can still justify the price difference, I wouldn't look at being like, oh, I don't want to use that. If not, just get the next lower pass. And I hate valet at Universal. Anytime I do it now, you
end up waiting.
Quit.
Yeah, you end up waiting a lot longer sometimes, and it doesn't work for events like Halloween Horror Nights, and sometimes they'll say like no valeting after whatever time because there's a special event going on. So so here's the thing. Yes, you save the money on the valet, but then you like the tipping situation. So you're actually like spending money on something that you normally wouldn't be spending the money on. But with that said, I do like my pass. I I like you get a increased discount. We actually don't use this that often, but it gets the express after 4 too, which is nice, you know. So if you know you're going to go around that time, it could help you a lot around like holiday season and stuff.
Yeah. So I think ultimately got a lot of stuff to focus in on, and think if you get your money worth out of it, I think the HHN ticket as part of it should be your last thought whatsoever.
Is it just that she doesn't want to do HHN? Is that what it is?
She didn't say. So maybe you can follow up with that and say if you wanted to do HHN or not. It doesn't matter. I think you can get your money worth. Last one, just a fun one to answer real quick, because we got it asked twice, once by Emily and once by Trey separately. And they said, with Bill and Ted, most likely actually 3 becoming a true reality. I mean, everything posting.
If they don't do something when Bill and Ted 3 comes out, I feel like it would be a travesty.
I feel like they're not doing anything.
I know they probably won't, but I do feel like it's insanity, because they had this show for 25 years and now there's finally a 3rd movie coming out. I don't think they'll bring a show back or anything, but what else can they do? They're not scary movies, though. Although, what's the second one? Bill and Ted. It's Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
And they did say that Death was coming back and going to be in the 3rd one again. So you never know.
Death will. I don't see anything ever happening with it at HHN ever again. Unless they do, after so many years, they say, no, we need a throwback.
Yeah.
But
it'd be a shame.
Yeah. I think it's just ironic that something that mega fans loved.
Is it a Universal property?
No. I want to say it's MGM.
Yeah.
If I'm correct with that. I'm not 100%. I know for sure it's not Universal, but I think it's MGM. But I'll give you 2 seconds to look it out.
Bill and Ted Face the Music is the name of the new one. Where do you see what the studio is that makes it?
I don't know.
Aren't you like the Internet Movie Database production company?
I
added an extra letter into that word. United Artists releasing Bloomhouse. No, Bloom, not Bloomhouse. Sorry,
no, it's Bloomhouse.
I just read what I wanted to see. Orion Pictures and
Orion. That's right. Yeah,
I thought it was Orion. That's why
that's right. I forgot about Orion. Everyone got unlucky. I was about to start singing. If you're going to take any longer looking for that.
Why? What were you going to sing?
I was going to sing
a Wild Stallions song.
It just felt right in that moment because I really need it tonight.
And I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, well, with that awkward silence, I'd say it's time to end this thing. So thank you to everyone who asked a question in the comments on YouTube there. We had a whole bunch more that we didn't get to, but like I said, we're only going to pick 2 or 3 every single week to go through. And so keep asking if you have questions pop up. And if you've already had your question answered, doesn't mean we aren't going to ask it again, but just keep sharing it. It's a nice, fun way to end every episode, especially the ones where we only talk about like one thing real fast. So just do it in those comments down below. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can head over to YouTube and just ask the question and not actually watch the video. Or, of course, you can always email us, uopodcast@disunplug.com, or tweet at us at DizUniversal or at any of our personal ones. I'm at Teleclaster. Ryno is at Ryno1185.
RYNO1185.
No, RHINO.
No, don't give the other one.
It doesn't. See, if I tell them how to spell it correctly, they will spell it wrong. So if you tell them to spell it RHINO, they'll be like, nope, it must be RYNO.
Well, now I'm going to see if there is an RHINO 1185, and he will be destroyed.
Oh, you got to lock that one down if it's not. But thank you, everyone out there, for listening and watching. Ryno, thanks for laughing about Bigfire with me.
Too late. He's already got it.
Okay.
You're welcome. Bigfire. I'll light a big fire under your butt.
With your plaid blanket. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So if you want any more information on this show.
They joined January 2019. And I am a little PO'd right now.
You just missed out on getting that. It might be me. You don't know. If you need any more information on this show or any of the others on the Diz Unplugged Podcast Network, DizUnplugged.com, home of our show notes page for this show or the other. It's Unplugged Podcast Network. Okay, keep it together, Craig. KIT. You can find links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our email address, uopodcast
That is unplugged.
disunplugged.com. I'm getting.
I think this Ryno is Russian.
I think so.
Nothing is in English.
It's very interesting. You're gonna really want to follow him on that one.
No, don't. Now this guy's gonna get like 2,000 followers out of nowhere.
And do it right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and leave comments down below. Like I said, leave your questions. We'll answer them, a couple of them on next week's show. And then hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying this. Subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified anytime we have a new video that comes online. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, go ahead, subscribe, rate, and review us. And that's all you have to do, and enjoy your listening experience. So thank you once again to everyone out there for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week with another episode of the Dis Unplugged Universal Edition. But until then, remember, we still haven't changed the name.